My friends, today is a monumental day in the history of Everstoke, our 91 acres of raw land that we've been working on tirelessly for the past 2 years. My buddy Aaron and I from MTBing Adventures pouring blood, sweat, and money into this property that started out as just a dirt road and now has become something so special. We've got running water, flush toilets, power, kind of, sorta. You'll see more about that later. We've got amazing trails, which I will also show you in a little bit. We've got restaurants nearby. We've got days and days of epic rides: Mount Huff, Mills Peak, Jameson Creek, Mount Elwell, Beckworth Peak, Indian Falls, South Park, Downeyville. You know, you could ride here for a week and not ride the same thing. The goal of Everstoke is always for you. Oh, I gotta be careful now. I'm on the skinny. The goal of Everstoke was always for you to come out and visit and to have an absolute blast. And finally, today, I can say we're open for business. It's time for you to come out because we just got a big old tiny house. This thing is amazing. I've seen a couple different tiny houses in real life and I've watched thousands of videos that have them. This thing is so nice, so much bigger than you would ever expect until you actually step foot in it. So let's go inside. I've got the wide angle lens on right now. It's a little more shaky, but you can see so much more and see how amazing this interior is. We've got a loft up here. Ooh, I can actually telescope up. We've got a bedroom right here. I should have actually made the bed. Whoops. We've got a kid's loft up here. 2 twin beds. I guess I should turn on the lights. Oh yeah, much better ambiance. We've got the kitchen with the sink, the stove, full-sized, and then a little fridge. A nice bar top here where you can sit and eat or do your work. Sarah was actually here doing a little work from home. A big old spacious bathroom with the vent fan going right now. So nice. Regular toilet, regular shower. This is like the biggest room in the place. I feel like I'm too dirty to be in here right now. Got a nice big couch, and then the crown jewel, air conditioning and heating with the mini split unit. Oh! So we've still got a few things to work on with the tiny home, but if you want to come up and book it, we've got an introductory rate going. Go to everstoke.bike. That's our website. Then you'll connect with Aaron from MTBing Adventures. He'll get you settled up and figure out when you want to stay, how long you want to stay, all that good stuff. Everstoke is on Google Maps now, so you can put in driving directions from your home to see how long it'll take to get here. It's 1 hour from the Reno airport, 1 hour from Truckee, 3.5 hours from my house. There was some pretty epic drama of Aaron driving the tiny house and actually getting it into position. He's got that adventure over on his channel. Go check it out because it is a very stressful and fun viewing experience. All the weekly updates, all the trail building, all the little tweaks that are going on week by week are over on Aaron's channel, MTBing Adventures. You gotta go check it out. The tiny house still needs a couple little bits and pieces to make it 10 out of 10, everything we want it to be. We still need to get blinds. We want to put a deck around the skirt here to hide all the wheels. Got to trench in a real water line instead of just having the garden hose go into it. And of course, my endless nemesis out here, a real deal power system, which is coming, I promise. It's the $20,000 problem that I just got to bite the bullet and get going on. I will very soon. But check this out. In the meantime, I took all the equipment I had inside my van and put it out here to get the tiny house up and running with power. So we've got this nuclear fusion reactor about 93 million miles away. It puts off solar rays, UV light that hits these solar panels. It can grab that as energy, comes through these wires, comes through the charge controller, and that kind of figures out what to do with it, sends power to the batteries down there. The batteries store the energy, and then this inverter takes the power from the batteries, which is DC, and turns it into AC current, which is what we use inside of our houses. This is a little plug, and it goes out under here, plugs into the tiny home's power right here, and voila, you've got power. This is all just my little temporary proof of concept. I'm gonna get this all ripped out and fixed up properly, up to code. Everything's gonna get dialed in very soon. I love how this is gonna be like 30 seconds of the video when I spent an entire week out here troubleshooting, putting stuff together, taking stuff out. Endless time, but it's so worth it to actually be able to run the air conditioning inside the tiny house. You can only go for 2 hours on these batteries. They don't have a big capacity, but if the sun is shining and the solar panels are in the sun, you can run that AC as much as you want. And that's actually part of the problem I got to fix today. Get these solar panels a little more in the sun. Okay, so I'm gonna hop on the bike here and give you a little preview of the Everstoke Enduro that we have coming up. But first, I've gotta fill my bottle up with the fine sponsor of today's video, Element. The heat was on this whole week. I was working hard to keep myself hydrated. I went through pack after pack after pack of Element and got through it all without bonking. Element is zero sugar, stevia sweetened, fantastic tasting, and extra salty to make sure you fight off the headaches, the cramps, and the general tiredness that come with a lack of electrolytes. The Element thesis is out with sugar and in with salt. They believe that most people, especially active people that get out and sweat, need more salt in their diet, not less, to perform their best. I spent so many years looking for that perfect electrolyte drink that checked all the boxes, tasted great, didn't mess with my stomach, didn't have a pound of sugar, didn't make me feel twitchy, and got me through every single mountain bike ride. Element is the one. Element has been a fantastic partner, keeping me riding the best trails in the world. Their mission is to restore health through hydration. And guess what I just learned? Element has a 0 questions asked return policy. If you don't like it, just send them an email. They'll give you your money back. Head on over to drinkelement.com/BKXC, jump in with an order, and they will send you an 8-pack sample pack. You'll get 8 different flavors to try out, to share, and then you'll really know what you like. I like the citrus the most right now. The orange is great, watermelon, raspberry, so many great flavors. Element is just the best thing going right now. Head on over to drinklmnt.com/BKXC. You can only get this offer through my link. Gotta stay salty. I'm on my way up to the start, and here's a new addition that was discovered recently. Furby. Aaron's already got ideas of how we're gonna put that bad boy to use. It'd be so cool to ride up and over. Aaron and I both agree that there's a fine line between becoming a junkyard and having a lot of cool little different things. Both of us do not want the junkyard. We want this beautiful landscape that we have here with a couple little fun things. We definitely got to figure out a little motion detector, a little horn honk, a skeleton in the driver's seat, all that stuff. So this will be the hub, the starting position for all 3 stages, I believe. And it's a steep climb, but it's a short climb. I just did a dry run and I had way too much air pressure in my tires. I was all over the place. Gotta keep it low. There we go, much better. Oh! Oh, I got some creeks, some dusty creeks. Man, what a difference. The PSI. Yeah. This is our crown jewel for sure. Longest run, most fun. Woo. Go this way. Always updating, always changing to make sure everything gets dialed in. Oh, that's nice. And I think there's a new section right here with the little right line. I don't know if it's faster or not, but it's dicey. Makes it fun. Oh yeah, there we go. Woo! Oh, that was cool. Yeah. Getting the flow. Oh, I tried to kick that tree branch out of the way last time. Oh, that's such a cool swerve. Man, this headset. Come on now. I just washed my bike. Always something. That's the problem. Don't wash your bike. Yeah. Oh, that's a good spot. This one is too. And now this has been improved where if you pump through this stuff, you don't even have to pedal. So nice. Woo-hoo-hoo. Left turn. And now we head in to no man's land right there. The new section. Woo! This G out has been fixed. Much better. Oh wow. This little log bottom drop, jump thing. Oh, I lost all my momentum. Finished strong. I guess I should mention the date, Sunday, September 17th. Get up here, check out the property. There are a few more miles of trails out here that are well worth your time. And then, like I rattled off all those different rides, there are many, many rides up here that are Everstoke adjacent. Also, the day before, on the Saturday, September 16th, they're gonna do the Mills Peak cross-country race. You're gonna start at the bottom and go to the top and then go back to the bottom. A good XC loop that is really good, really fun. That's gonna be awesome. Nathan from Barrett Ventures is putting that on. I'll also leave a link for that in the description. Oh yeah, so this won't be part of the race, but I gotta show you guys what I found. So I've known about this tree forever, and I've always seen that it looks like a great midday napping spot for bears or deer. But then all of a sudden, a couple weeks ago, I realized it was filled with apples. This is just ridiculous. This tree's like 25 feet tall easily and just burdened down with apples. This has to be Billy Bear's main source of nutrition. There must be a feeding frenzy happening here soon. I mean, these looking a little too small, not looking ripe enough. There's a couple on the ground, but once they start falling off, that's when you know they're ready to go. And as you could probably hear, the highway is going by right here. I'm guessing somebody threw out their apple core 30 years ago, 35, 40 years ago, and this is what happened. So I've got the game camera set up to see if anything's gonna be coming. You know, I need to get more cameras out here because if this becomes the feeding frenzy that I think it'll become, I really wanna get as much coverage as possible. Speaking of the game cameras, we've had a couple good little sightings happen over the summer. This little baby fawn is growing up right in front of our eyes, month by month. It's getting bigger and bigger. Only a couple little bear sightings so far this summer, but we did capture this mountain lion with a big ol' hanging skin flap on its back left leg. Must have gotten a fight, maybe got hit by a car, something bad happened. I've also been doing a little experimentation with some astrophotography time lapses at night. It gets so dark up at Everstoke. The stars are so amazing. It's so cool to try this out, but you only get so many iterations. You have to set up the camera, let it go, and then you get to see what happened overnight the next day. So on my second attempt, I didn't plug in the battery to keep the camera going, so it kind of fizzled out, but I want to do more of this. I'm going to experiment more. So now I'm working on the big project of the week with my dad. We're gonna turn this area next to the shipping container into a lean-to. I'm calling it the woodshed.
We're going to store materials in this thing and kind of cover up the shipping container, as well as keep the sun from beating down on it and make everything look and feel a little bit nicer. It's a bunch of posts with some siding and a roof on top. You can kind of get the idea of the skeleton here as things are starting to shape up. Instead of doing our posts in concrete, we use this Sika post fix. It's basically closed cell spray foam in a bag that you pour into the post hole, and it's a pretty magical thing. We used about 16 bags of this stuff. It's light as a feather and so simple to work with. It's about 2 or 3 times more expensive than a bag of concrete, but how many 50-pound bags of concrete would we be lugging around, mixing, inhaling the dust? It's a very cool option to do it the foam way, and time will tell if this was the right choice. So we're 4 days into the project now, moving right along, and Sarah was a big help with her big muscles getting these big ol' OSB sheets on top of the shipping container. The OSB is on the roof, it's looking good, the siding is going on, and it's looking great. It's starting to look like a real building here. And the best part, as the siding goes on, we get more and more 2x4 shelving so we can keep all of our stuff off the ground and easy to grab. And just about right now, I start to realize these shingles are way too heavy, way too awkward to use a ladder to get them up on the roof. So my dad came up with the idea of building a ramp, and it is a game changer. So let's get the shingles going. First step is stapling on the roof underlayment. It's not too bad. You go through a lot of staples doing this stuff. And it's definitely hot working up on the roof doing the stapling. But once we move into the shingles, it turns into hell. I keep looking up, waiting for the shade. It's not coming. I couldn't capture a single swing of the hammer because the cameras kept overheating. It was quite a lot. Nighttime was the right time to work on the shingles, and little by little I got it all done. It looks great. It came out so good. Just gotta paint and fix up a couple little things and we are good to go. But the main point of this, of course, is to get better organized with all our various materials, a place for everything and everything in its place. It didn't take long to get our little woodshed attic filled up with all the various materials I've got laying around. So nice to get it all organized, and we've got so much more room down below to build some shelves or just lean stuff up against the shipping container. A huge thank you to my dad for coming up with this project. It was an awesome idea. He built it all in his mind first, and then we built it together in the real world, and I'm so happy with it. All right, I got one more project to show off before I head home. I moved the ugly solar panels from the tiny home down here to a much more sunny area. This whole journey is a work in progress, iteration, testing over and over. So today I put together the EG4 Bright Mount ground mount solar panel system, and it was pretty easy to get together. I don't have a lot of level ground out here, but I made it work. I've got this big old hill right here that is in the sun for most of the day, doesn't get blocked by too many trees, and I think I could put quite a lot of panels up and down this whole thing. The placement of the panels depends on a lot more than just the sun. I need to build a solar power shack to keep all the batteries and inverters dry, clean, temperature controlled. And then that shack, you got to run wire, a lot of expensive wire from that shack to all the places that need power. And man, that's trigonometry's involved. And I think this would be a pretty good spot for the shack, pretty close to the tiny house, but holy moly, that is maybe 300 feet away from the shipping container, which if you've seen the prices on big ol' thick Romex, that might be like a $3,000 run to go from here to there. I finally feel like the solar power finish line is within reach. There's still a lot of work to do, a lot of money to spend, a lot of maths to do to get the calculations right with all that. But until then, I'm gonna go out on another trip to Canada very, very soon. It's gonna be amazing. Then another trip after that, but hopefully the snow won't start till January and I'm gonna get months of work out here. But until then, do me a favor, go ride something new, and maybe I'll see you on the trail.